What's up, everybody? It's your favorite scalper's favorite nerd, and today we're looking at Marvel Legends Captain America Black Widow. Now, I haven't seen anything like this in a while, where... I keep nudging the tripod, my apologies. I haven't seen anything like this in a while where the hard-to-find figure is really this hard to find and worth the hunt. And this is definitely an anomaly in that regard. I mean, everybody got their hands into this pie to try to get money off of this figure. Everybody. I'm sure that you guys have seen it if you're a Marvel Legends fan and you looked for... Time to look for a Black Widow figure. Let's go to Amazon. $50. A little high for Amazon. You know, they're buying them in bulk. So $50 seems a little ridiculous. Let's go to eBay. For the collectors. Collectors looking out for each other. Community. $2 billion. Worth it. But I was able to come by one, and I was able to come by one in one of the Facebook groups, and for a very decent price. And I am very happy that I got her. Just first impression-wise, she's a solid figure. She doesn't stand all that well, and she doesn't come with a stand. You know how that goes. There's an incredible amount of molding. I mean, all the details in her suit, all the elements of the textures of her suit are all molded in. That is uncommon to say the least in Marvel Legends figures and Hasbro in general. Paint-wise, I'm not really wowed, but at the same time, I'm not disappointed. There's some black ink in there on the zipper. This shield symbol is done really well. There seems to be some layers of inking to her hair. You know, there's some more glossy paint like on the belt, and there's a lot of matte paint, flat paint on parts of her suit. It's well painted, and it's not messy, it's not sloppy, it's quality. I gotta say, it's a quality piece. Sculpt is fantastic. The hair is sculpted well on this head, and all these little rivets in her suit are molded well. It's really, for a Legends figure, it's top notch, I gotta say. It's definitely probably I gotta say it's probably the best Legends figure I've ever bought. Accessory wise, she comes with an alternate head and two alternate hands. One is a second pistol gripping hand. One is a second open hand. Now this is kind of where the trouble comes into paradise, because she can have two pistol grip hands or two hands that are doing this. I don't know why she would be doing this. So it's hard to get her in a pose where she doesn't look like she's trying to use some sort of power that she doesn't have. It's just this hand is not a great hand for this character. Now, the pistol grip hands are fine. They grab her pistol that's on her hip just fine, but this is when our second problem comes in, and that's that the pistols don't remove themselves from the holsters. So you'd have to use a different weapon from a different figure for her to actually hold one in her hands. And that's the biggest complaints. As far as the head sculpts, they're both pretty good, and it's funny because, and you see it's on a ball peg there, it's funny because when I saw her in packaging, you know, and online and stuff, I was like, man, I'm going with this head. But then I get it, and I think I like the other one better. Now, this one greatly impedes articulation, as you can see, so that's one of the problems with it. The other problem is that I don't think it shares the likeness that this one does. And this one has a pretty, I mean, it's all about the angle. But there's some angles that you can get her in where it actually kind of looks like Scarlett Johansson. And almost freakishly. And then there's other angles where it doesn't look anything like her, but it's very bizarre. It's a good sculpt. Let's talk articulation. Head is on a ball peg that you saw, and with this hair, it does a pretty good job of getting her to look, you know, to left and right. Down is not too bad. Up is hindered the most with the back of her hair. Shoulders are on ball discs or ball hinges, whatever you want to call them, and you get pretty much to straight in front, which would hold a good gun if she had one, and out to the sides you get that. So it's not bad. A butterfly joint would have been nice, but then the figure probably wouldn't have looked as good overall. No bicep swivel, but there is a swivel at the elbow, which gets you 90 degrees with the hinge. Swivel at the wrist, No hinge on the wrist because of the interchangeable hands. Let's see what we got. We got a diaphragm joint that doesn't get you much, but it gets you enough where you can get the swivel action of it, and you know, you get a little bit. You can see you get a little bit back and a little bit forward, but not much. But I'd still prefer it over a diaphragm joint. There's no waist swivel because that would throw off the look of the hips. Ball jointed. Ball jointed. That is a T joint for her hips, which work fairly well. You get about out to there. Would have liked a bit more, but what are you going to do? Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, which look phenomenal because of the slenderness of the figure. No shin swivel, which you know I love, or calf swivel, whatever you want to call it, and a hinged rocker for the ankle. So all the big bases covered. My only complaint with the figure are these bits and the fact that the guns don't come out. Like, big complaints. Like, you have to have her, you know, her legs kind of spread to get it not to look funny. I mean, I get what they were trying to do. They weren't trying to impede it, but it's like, I don't know if I would needed these. I might still actually cut them off. I would have much rather preferred guns that came out of the holsters. I would have actually preferred guns that came out of the holsters over different hands or a different head, as long as we got this one. But I guess that's the problem with that. Size comparison wise, I don't really have anything available at the moment that's really appropriate to look at. But she you know, I only have villains so far from the Captain America line, because I'm not really excited about the Captain America figure. I'm more of a comic book guy. Even though she's a movie character, I get it. I know what everybody's thinking, but she does look pretty cool. And I may even prefer her look over the comic book look. Final thoughts wise, she's really a good figure, and she's worth the hunt, and she's worth maybe, in my opinion, I wouldn't go any higher than 30 for her, but I think with 30 you would still get the your bang for the buck. She is the most intricately sculpted Marvel Legends that I have looked at. I haven't looked at many, but she is the most intricately sculpted that I have looked at personally. I feel like she could have came with some guns that came out of the holsters. I feel like the thigh to belt straps are a little dumb. But outside of that, solid unit, no real complaints. Definitely pick her up if you get the chance. If you're a fan of the character or a fan of the franchise, you will not be disappointed. So, that being said, I'll be back soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.